welcome back. Live at Drew's house, another edition. Hope you are all doing okay. Would you believe it? We've hit August. An August show. July flew by very quickly. The summer's flying by, as it always does, but we got another music show here from our Newburyport studios. I get very excited about that. Our guest today, the one and only Eric Marcs. Take it away, my man.
First up, I said you've been running around. You think I don't know what you've been talking about. Brushed up, dressed up, you've been talking me down. Been kicking my name around, dragging it through the mud on the ground. You know I hear what you say about me, yeah. And I've been going through hell for a little while, trying to hold my breath and breathe. You know it's clear to me and I see it. You've been trying to pull me down, but you can't fool me. Hey, yeah. This time I'm out of answers, all out of tries. You know I've never been good at goodbyes, no. I've been so done with all your cold touching lies. Don't you come near me, don't even try, no, no. You know I hear what you say about me, yeah. And I've been going through hell for a little while, trying to hold my breath and breathe. You know it's clear to me and I see it. You've been trying to pull me down, but you can't fool me. Hey, can't fool me. No, you can't fool me.
Hey, Eric Marcs. Very nice. Woo. Welcome to Newburyport, my friend. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. I stole your headset. I'm taking this one, but you got the hat on, so this works out better anyway. We're fine.
I don't need it.
How are you? Nice hat, by the way.
Thank you very much.
And a great song. You sound great.
Thank you.
Good. How are things, man?
Good. Busy.
I know.
It's the summer, so...
That's where I was going to start with you, because you're everywhere, man. I have friends that I used to live in Boston, so I used to be around there a lot. I still got a lot of friends that live in Boston. You were, like, tearing it up in there, playing everywhere.
Yeah. It's really, like, in March, I basically booked out my entire summer, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Over the last 2 years, it's been tough. So I think everyone was really excited to see really like the light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah.
And just try and get everything booked immediately so that we didn't have to worry about it in June when we were like, oh, everyone wants to play everywhere. How are we going to fit everybody in?
Right.
So it was good.
Yeah, it's been fun to see all the. I feel like every time, like here we go, the whatever random summer night out. Like I can see somebody to play every single night because everybody it was like a flood of people once music was allowed again, was playing again. I think people just don't take it for granted, so it's a great thing.
Yeah.
You are one of those guys too that you at least give off the impression. You can tell me if I'm wrong, but you are one of those guys who loves to play live.
I do, and I prefer it. Even some of the stuff that I'm recording these days, I'd rather record it live.
Really,
just go to the show, plug in, whatever I need to record, and do it like that.
You like that kind of that raw feel or whatever it is.
Yeah, and the energy's different. It's playing live is
enough artists have done that in their lives, right? I mean, I think Dave Matthews went 5 years without doing but he released 6 live albums.
I know, exactly. Yeah,
that's funny. Well, cool, man. Well, that's good. So, what's been the favorite place to play so far this summer? Do you like playing like right in the heart of the city, the Boston gigs? Do you prefer? I mean, I know you bounce all around, but
Yeah, favorite place. That's tough. It's like picking kids, I guess.
Not even places. Give it like what you like playing the Boston crowds.
I like playing in Boston.
Yeah.
I like the energy.
Yeah. That is the thing. You always get the energy there, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Everyone's out to have a good time. Loretta's Last Call is always a ton of fun to play. There's always a ton of people there.
Yeah.
It's in that, right on Lansdowne Street, especially if there's a Sox
Fenway
game.
Park crowd.
Yeah, it's awesome. But yeah, I mean, anything on Lansdowne is always a ton of fun.
Yeah.
But over in the theater district, we play over at Nash Bar on the theater.
Yeah, that's a new place, right? That wasn't there when I was there, yeah.
And same thing, the energy over there is really, really good.
Yeah, I never really, I always try to figure it out because, I mean, I kind of took what was at least a popular path when I was coming out of college. You could live in Brighton for a couple of years. Or some people did Brighton, others did Salty. Those were kind of the two.
Yeah.
And then you'd bounce around. And then I went back just like recently, and I guess I hadn't been, during the pandemic, you just don't go into the city as much once you move out. And I was like, I haven't really been around here in a while. Man, they've knocked buildings down and built new places, and that's a new bar and everything. So it was all very different for me. The new Boston, like in a good way. It looks great, beautiful, but
absolutely.
I don't know. I guess it's still part of the big dig right now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we're still working on that.
Yeah, no, that'll never be fixed. I don't think. I always say that's why I was a proponent of the Olympics coming here.
Oh, yeah.
And I always said the reason, it's not a political thing. We're not going to argue about it anymore. It's over. But I always said I thought that was like the one chance for like our generation to get the MBTA fixed.
Exactly.
Like that. Like I don't think it will ever be.
Yeah.
I think it will always be a problem. But I don't know. Anyway, who are the first time on the show for you? So who are the? I always like to know who are the influences here.
That's a tough question.
They're all going to be hard questions.
Yeah. I'm going to keep saying Tom Petty is probably the biggest one.
I love Tom Petty.
And I really just discovered that probably about a year ago.
Discovered him or discovered he was your guy?
Discovered he was like the guy.
Yeah.
If I was going to sort of emulate someone, it would be him. And I'm sad that I wasn't able to get to see him play.
Yeah.
Before he passed away. So yeah, and I think the feel of the music, the energy of what I'm trying to do, really tips its hat to, excuse the pun, but
to tip the
Petty,
hat.
So, yeah.
I'm actually going to pull this up because we didn't plan this discussion. However, I know that it was just the other day. There it is. See that photo right there? I'll show it to the camera after. But see that photo?
Yeah.
That right there is Tom Petty. Let's see if I can get it right. Hopefully that's coming across. I tweeted it, so if anybody follows me on Twitter, they can look at it. That is Tom Petty's last show in Boston.
Oh, yeah.
And I had seen him, several times before. And that particular night, I'll never forget the story because I'm so glad that I did it. But it was a Friday night. My family was up in Maine. I was going to try to go up there, and there was a lot of traffic. I knew there was a lot of traffic, and I was like, I just don't feel like hitting the lake traffic. Like, maybe do it in the morning. I saw Tom Petty was in Boston. A couple affordable tickets came my way. At the last minute, my cousin and I decided to go in. I got that great picture. He sounded great. He looked great. Yeah. He was happy, and he passed away weeks later.
Yeah.
And I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
It still hits me, that one, man. I hate not having Tom Petty around.
Agreed.
He's just one of those guys. I always thought like I'd bring my kids to see him and all that.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. I don't even have kids. So that tells you how much longer we're supposed to be around.
It's one of those things you think these guys are gonna live forever, and then they don't.
Yep. Well, rest in peace, Tom Petty. 5 years ago, man. Who else? I derailed your answer.
No, that's fine. Again, I don't know. I was talking about this with some of my bandmates 2 weeks ago. Gary Clark Jr. is probably another one of those.
Yeah.
If I was gonna go the rock and roll, just full on.
You like how he carries himself on stage and everything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I like his sound. I like what he's trying to do. I like the grittiness of his music. I love the lyrics of his music and that whole thing. So
yeah.
Gary Clark is probably another one of those. But again, his influences, right? Like Jimi Hendrix and all those like old blues.
Yeah.
Fathers of music.
Yeah.
Also
he seems like that blues guy with a conscience too. Like I like how he kind of writes about stuff that matters and everything.
Agreed.
Yeah. I always like. All right, those are two good answers. Then I like that. So when you're playing live and all this stuff, you get these great crowds playing Boston. Is the summertime like the much better season? It feels like to me people are just ready to get after it in the summertime. You can have good wintertime shows too.
Yeah.
But is there a better time to play than like right now?
Probably not. The guys that I play with like to say make hay while the sun is shining.
Oh, that's good.
It's really what it is.
Yeah, I like that.
And a lot of guys like to play live shows in the summer and make as much music live as they can, and prepare themselves for the winter, where you can get into the studio and record and do all the fun stuff that you really want to do.
Yeah.
While, in the summer you're running around like a crazy person.
So that's the trick.
Trying to make it all work. It's sort of like being a farmer, where
Yeah.
you do all your work in the summer and then you sort of get to relax a little bit in the winter, which is weird. But
Is it and I mean, obviously that's kind of a New England centric musician. If you go down to Florida, you get to do it all the whole time. We've talked a little bit about this. You're one of those, all these independent musicians who are like who I listen to now, and they come on my show, and it's great. What's that like? It is a bit of a grind, right? We've talked a little bit about this off the air, but a little bit, maybe not the right word to use. It's probably a lot of a grind.
yeah, no, it is. Excuse me.
Yeah, you need water just to talk about that one, right?
It is a grind.
Yeah.
And it is hard work. It is a job. It is not easy.
Yeah.
Especially to go out there like every single day. Last week I was literally out every single day, Sunday to Sunday, working, driving. The driving's hard.
People don't think of that, right?
It's tough. Yeah.
Pack up your stuff.
Yeah, it's really, really tough. But I wouldn't have it any other way either. So I'd rather put my heart and soul, literally like my blood, sweat, and tears into this than into anything else.
I was going to say, do you ever lose the? Are there nights when you just don't have the joy to do it, and you almost gotta fake it is probably the wrong word. You guys would be offended if I ever said the word fake it, but you know what I mean. It's just you're digging deep for just that thing.
There are times, there are gigs, there are shows where you do have to dig a little more and really try to find the meaning.
And I'm imagining those are the nights when it's quiet, right? Like if you have a good crowd, I mean, anybody can go in with a good crowd. They feed off the adrenaline. I'm guessing, especially playing, upbeat music a lot.
Yeah.
You got to, so yeah. That's interesting. All right. Well, I mean, if playing every night, I think anybody realizes how tiring that could be.
Yeah, exactly.
First song was written when?
3 years ago.
3 years ago.
The first.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool. And what are you going to play for us next?
This is a more recent one. I wrote this one last year. The song is called "Perhaps I Was a Pirate."
I want to get right into it.
All right.
We got Eric Marcs joining us here. First time on the show for Eric. Very exciting. Live at Drew's house, Joppa Afternoon Drive. You got a bigger audience now. The camp just came in, so we run summer camp here, so you got kids in the house now.
Absolutely.
Sometimes you can get their attention. A lot of times, no. But thank you, Eric Marcs, joining us. First time on the show. Take it away, my friend.
Something about the waves and the water. Maybe it's the reason that I wander. Years and years of trouble for tomorrow, but I can catch my breath in the middle of the ocean. Stay inside with all the lights, or outside with the ebb and tide. I used to know what the future holds, used to chase horizons. I used to be more than flesh and bone, I used to climb the shrouds. Now I'm haunted, wanted, I am lost. Perhaps I was a pirate in a previous life. I've been boarded, I've endured the mutiny, even been marooned, but it wasn't lonely. And I've made friends with demons, and it's funny, I have more in common with the unholy. I I've been learning how to fight so I can take back what was mine. I used to know what the future holds, used to chase horizons, used to be more than flesh and bone, used to climb the shrouds. Now I'm haunted, wanted, I am lost. Perhaps I was a pirate in a previous life. In a previous life. Used to know what the future holds, used to chase horizons, used to be more than flesh and bone. We used to climb the shrouds. Now I'm haunted and I'm wanted, I am lost. Perhaps I was a pirate in a previous life.
All right, Eric Marcs, nicely done. Eric Marcs on Joppa Afternoon Drive. Very beautiful, nice strumming pattern. That was
Thanks,
nice.
man.
Picking away. Very impressive.
Yeah.
I like that. So that was a year ago?
That was a year ago, yeah.
Do you do you remember those moments when you're writing these songs of like never forget like where you were when it came to you, all that stuff?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, and you're like, I could tell you, but I'd have to kill you. But
it would take too long. It's one of those things where like all of these songs, especially the ones that have meaning, like that one, have just it's a really long, dumb story. That if anyone wants to know, like they can ask me. But it's too.
That'll
long.
be on Storytellers on VH1.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Yeah.
Is it cool? And again, Eric Marcs joining us here. What is the hometown? Officially, Lowell.
Yeah.
Lowell is the hometown these days.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So he's a local guy. Go check him out. Like I said earlier, he's been playing around Boston and pretty much everywhere, as you hear every night. But what's it like when you see playing like you're playing out every night, and then you start to see like this traction? Like people follow you and like, oh, they're the Sam faces. They're their friends. Okay, those people come back. That must be a pretty cool feeling.
It is cool. It's actually weird because at the beginning, you just sort of think that you're gonna. The minute I decided I was gonna quit my job and do music, I decided I was going to walk in the front door of the House of Blues and say, "I'm really good. You have to book me," and that everyone was gonna show up, and that was gonna be it. Yeah. And obviously it didn't work that way. Yeah. And it doesn't work that way. And so when I realized it didn't work that way, I was like, well, I guess, I'm going to end up with 150 followers on Instagram and, 3 people coming to see me do my thing. Yeah. And that also didn't work out that way. All the work I did, we're almost at 1,000 followers on Instagram, which is just insane. Again, like it doesn't sound like a lot, but it's insane to me. Yeah. And the same thing, doing all the shows, and once people start calling you to be like, we want you to play, that was really the moment where I was like, maybe this can work out. Maybe I can make a living doing this. And we just recently opened up for Landco in Worcester. Like, again, those things happen, and it's like, this couldn't work. It's unbelievable. And that stuff it literally never gets old.
So you're still kind of like learning your way through it, though.
Absolutely.
That's funny. And when it does start happening, like, I mean, what do you find, like, you get a lot of the same, like, is there like a cult following already, or is it more like from different city to city that'll be like, okay, those people usually come there, like, do you even notice that stuff anymore? Once you start playing, you kind of probably tune out of it.
No, it does happen. There are those people. I I'm remembering two faces from a place up in New Hampshire,
Yeah.
where we played and played last year and then again this year, and we saw them both times, and I'm sure we'll see them again when we go back next year, and
Yeah.
there are those people who we see in Boston all the time. Every
Yeah.
time we're at Loretta's, every time we're at wherever, every time I'm at the Anchor,
Yep.
it's the same couple of people. And
I guess it's probably a good lesson, right? Because I mean, young you walks in thinking that is how it works. Like, I'm good. This will be magic. Here we go. But it's more of a grind and paying your dues sort of thing, right? That's kind of the business, right?
absolutely. Well, and I wasn't as good as I thought I was. Like, I thought I was the best person to ever do this. And obviously I wasn't, and I'm still not. And again, like you said, I'm still learning and trying to figure out how to do it. And
Well, I guess that's the adult answer too, right? I guess, and I learned I had to do better.
yeah, exactly.
I do notice that. I mean, I know you know this too, and we know a lot of the same people in the business. Like, there is just so much talent out there.
There is.
I mean, it's crazy. Like, and the one thing I say this probably show after show. I think it's probably the comment I've made for people that watch this often. It's probably the comment I make most often. But like, I love the circle of musicians that I've now kind of stumbled myself into this circle of knowing you guys and women, and it's like nobody ever like roots against each other. It's the weirdest thing. Like,
totally.
everybody just wants to help, collaborate. I'll try to he'll be a great spot for that. She'll be an awesome spot for that. She should play that wedding.
Yeah.
And like, I think what I've put my finger on is that everybody's like knows that they're different, and like nobody's ever going to be the same person.
Exactly.
And it's like there's room for everybody.
Yeah.
I think that's it.
Yeah, I have done a lot of collaborations. People have reached out to me. Every time I do a gig somewhere, everyone's like, "Oh, cool! How'd you get that one?"
Yeah.
And I always give names, and I always try and figure out how to get other people that spot, because I wouldn't be where I am without other people helping me.
Is that right?
I absolutely 100%. So I don't think I'm gonna lose my spot if I give a name to somebody else.
Yeah.
There's room for everybody, like you said.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I love helping out.
You had some friends of the show. You played. I remember being away that I was in Maine that weekend, but I saw the Instagrams and all that stuff come across. You played the nice show at the City Winery with some friends of the show here. Did you have Jacob McCurdy was with you, and was it Steve Dennis was with you too?
Yeah.
Those are two good friends of the show. That seemed like a fun night.
It was a dream come true. It was one of those things, like, we walked in and they treated us like rock stars.
It's a prestigious room, man.
It is.
That whole place is like, I tell people all the time, when like big names have played the City Winery. You know?
And to be one of them is again, just it's too much. I don't deserve it, but I'm happy that we were able to do it. No, but seriously, as I was driving here, my mom was like, "Make sure you be humble," and I'm like, "You know what? You're because sometimes I forget, and that's true."
Moms always have good advice with that stuff. I remember seeing, actually, I had a funny story about that particular show, because I was there a couple weeks before to see Melissa Etheridge.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, who was awesome, by the way. I mean, I knew she would be. I was a fan, but I had never seen her before. And I was like, Melissa Etheridge at the City Winery. It was a cool show. It was just intimate. And I made that joke about VH1 storytellers. Do you even remember that? Are you too young for that?
No, I have no idea.
Yeah.
I was just laughing along.
So, because I got a few years on you. It was a very brief moment in time where they had, like, it was exactly what you would imagine. An artist plays a song, then talks about it for a little bit, maybe a fan question or two, and then does the same thing for like 5 songs. It was like that kind of vibe, though, at the City Winery. I was like, this is really cool. But the funny part about that is I saw your picture pop up on like the promotions thing. So I was like, oh man, he is killing it in Boston, like I had heard.
It's very cool.
So that was good. Glad you guys had a fun night. Yeah. What's the why did you say you got treated like a rock star? Is that all backstage stuff?
Yeah, I mean, it was the first time that I had ever sold tickets to a show of my own.
Yeah, people don't. I bet the general average Joe does not think about that. That probably is a cool moment, right?
It is.
Yeah.
And to see we sold 40 tickets, and to see 40 people show up just to see you, again, is weird. And it's cool because most of it's family and people you don't see all the time and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then Jacob and I were talking about it before the show, and I was like, I wonder who's in the room. So we went to go ask.
Yeah.
And so we asked the door guy, like, who's in there? And he's like, I don't know, why don't you go take a peek? So we took a peek in, and neither him nor I knew the first 4 people that were in that room. So just random people.
You're literally going
whoever.
face to face.
It was It was amazing that there, were people that mean something to us, friends and family, and people that we have no idea who they are, came to see us.
That's also the
music.
cool East Coast big city thing too, right? It's
Totally.
Boston. It's music fans looking for a night out.
Exactly.
Here's somebody I don't know, and let's give them a shot, right?
Yeah.
Which is a whole different kind of pressure. I'm sure you love playing for friends and family and people that can sing your songs and all that, but it is something cool about trying to okay, blank slate, you don't know anything about me.
Exactly.
This is what I got. That's got to be a good feeling
That's
too.
probably one of my favorites, actually. I love playing for new people who have never heard of me before, of my band before, or whatever. And to see, the look on their face when we go is really cool. We played a show up in Maine, and I don't think any of those people that were there had ever heard of us before.
Yeah.
And we started, and literally we started playing, and everyone in the crowd went like this.
Really? Oh, that's good feeling.
And all just sat up, and they were like, "Okay,
we like this.
We're gonna this is what's going on." So
that's cool.
That was exciting.
What's that? Is there that magic trick when that isn't happening? Because sometimes that's harder than other places.
Totally.
Is there the? I mean, it's probably not one song, but is there a formula that to go to? All right, this is the kind of crowd to get them going. We gotta be in this kind of groove or whatever.
100%.
Yeah.
And I play with guys in my band who also know that feeling. So if I need help, I know who I can go to.
Let's try a little something different. So it differs depending on the night.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it depends, how many people are in the room. Again, if we're playing a 3-hour show, if there's nobody in the room, okay, we'll start with something else so that we can save our, big opening, banger, which is usually Come Together, our version of Come Together by the Beatles.
Oh, okay.
We can save that for when there's more people who will really.
It's probably fun to rip that in an empty room though too.
It is because the room shakes. It's unbelievable. Yeah.
That's too funny. Again, Eric Marcs joining us. So Eric Marcs is a solo musician. Obviously, you mentioned the band, and that band title is
Solid Ground.
There you go.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Go find them. You do the whole website thing, and you can say any handles or anything you want to say. Go for it. Where do people go find it?
On Instagram at Eric Marcs Music. So it's Eric with a C and Marcs with a CS.
Okay.
And then ericmarcsmusic.com is literally the best way to see everything.
Okay.
All my dates are always there.
Keep up on it.
Merch. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, every day I'm putting dates up. So it's always up to date. Merch is up there too. New music, all of it.
Is this stuff you're playing today? Is this mostly the stuff you keep to yourself as a singer-songwriter, or do you bring it to the band?
All of this stuff I bring to the band.
Okay.
Because again, when I play it in this room, it sounds different than it does when I play it with them.
Sounds good. It's a good room.
It is a nice room. I agree. I wish I drank more water before I got here.
That's funny. So do you like the idea of the band bringing it to life too? I mean, some songs are better stripped down. I understand that
Totally.
too. But bandmates can, especially when you play with such pros that I know you do.
Yeah.
It's they can sometimes add stuff that maybe you weren't even thinking.
So good.
Yeah.
And when they say, we were playing at the City Winery, and I wanted to do everything with the band, and I played this song called Time, and Parker, my guitar player, who's also my music director at the same time.
Yep.
He was like, "You should do this one alone.
Yeah.
You should just we'll leave you the stage, and you just do it." And that was the right call.
Wow,
that song, it was silent while I was playing that song. It was unbelievable, and it was really a nice moment.
Yeah, it's a good guy and a smart guy. That just knows. I feel like with bandmates, sometimes that's the most important thing. Just those unselfish guys and women that can just they don't need to. They'll have the limelight all the time. I mean, I'm thinking about a million guys right now in my head that were so great musicians that we're really good at that. Just being able to step back and just know what's right. I don't know. I love those stories. I feel like that's what you need for a band to be successful.
Yeah.
You got 5 different. I mean, I know musicians have egos, but if you have 5 different guys with hugely strong egos, it's hard to keep. That's why bands don't stay together, right?
Exactly. Yep. 100%. And that's what I look for in bandmates too. I mean, guys that are talented are important, but guys who can hang and walk into a room and serve the music and serve the band is ultra important.
Looking out for the greater good of the group.
Yeah.
Like that. All right, Eric Marcs, what are you going to play for us next?
This song is the first song on my first record. This song is called Riptide. And this was written quite a few years ago, maybe 3 years ago now.
All right.
Goes like this.
All right. Eric Marcs here. First time on the show. We're excited to have him today. Joppa Afternoon Drive, live at Drew's house. We got Cal Eaton producing today, by the way. Sarah Blackstone, the director. Sarah Hayden's somewhere around the house. And we got a bunch of the camp kids in the house, too. So I think they're in there listening. So hello to the camp crew. Always good to see all you kids running around. And hope you're all enjoying the show. Eric Marcs, live on Joppa Afternoon Drive.
Every now and then I hear your voice when you said it was over. I remember when we had a choice and we became lovers. There's a saying that goes, better loved and lost than not at all. Oh yeah. Come inside, let me tell you what is true. Let me break the news slowly. Take a look around at all of you. You got a knack for controlling. Stop breathing this time. You're choking out a life. You can't break the fall. Oh yeah. But I'm caught in the riptide, riptide. Running out of last time in the love tide. Losing ground on the other side. In the riptide of a broke life. Yeah. Ah, yeah. Up to my knees in harmony. Gotta let go and trust you. To my neck in the salton sea. Running out in the morning breeze. With the darkness calling. And voices spinning round in my head. Oh yeah. But I'm caught in the riptide, riptide. Running out of last time in the love tide. Losing ground on the other side. In the riptide of a broke life. Yeah. Ah, yeah. Losing ground on the other side. In the riptide of a broke life. Yeah. Oh, we're losing ground on the other side. In the riptide of a broke life. Yeah. In the riptide of a broke life. Yeah.
All right. Woo! Eric Marcs. How are you, sir? Doing all right over there?
I'm good. It's early. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I know. Daytime shows. I always joke with you guys. It's all used to playing nighttime, and here we are in the middle of the day. Middle of the day in Newburyport. Eric Marcs on Joppa Afternoon Drive. So that was one of the early ones. Riptide right there. Huh?
Yeah.
Do you ever get those always like your babies a little bit, or do you ever get to have to put them away for a while when they get older? Or?
No, I think that's one of those that probably is going to be with me for a really, really, really long time. And again, I've been playing it for 3 years straight, and it hasn't gotten old yet. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's probably a good thing.
I just saw the set list for Elton John last night. It seemed like he played songs that I've been hearing for 40 years. So I think that's kind of a good formula.
Yeah.
What has been the toughest thing coming out of the pandemic? Has it all been like good? Has it just been? Did you have to find your like stage legs again, or was there like a little bit of that, or was it just like this is glorious? I've been missing this.
Yeah. I mean, I started largely right as the pandemic started. So I was doing open mics during 2019, but right at the end of 2019, I decided that I was really gonna like go for it.
Yeah.
And then
You mean started as in dropped the full-time job and said I'm all in?
Yeah, yeah. And so that was, I did a songwriter night with Jay Pizarros.
Yep. Great friend of the show.
Yeah, in February. The reason I know the show.
Yes. Yeah.
Did a songwriter night with him in February of 2020.
Yeah.
And he basically was like, if you want to do this, you got to do it. And I was
Yeah.
like, okay, I'm doing it.
Yep.
And then the world shut down. So
Jay's never been great with the
yeah,
timing.
right. I got a little bit unlucky with that, but that first summer was important because a lot of guys decided, I don't know if I want to do that. A lot of guys and girls, excuse me, decided they didn't want to mess with it. So there was a huge opening where I basically could say, I want to play there and I want to play there. And I sent a ton of emails and I got a few back and started playing. So it was a good opportunity to get my legs underneath me for sure.
Yeah.
But it was brand new to me during the pandemic.
Yeah.
It was completely brand new.
Did you ever have to have that thought about like restarting? Okay, timing definitely wasn't meant to be this go around. Maybe you had to have that thought.
Oh,
right?
yeah. Once things really started getting canceled during that first summer, had to regroup. And that first winter was really, really, really tough. I had to go back to work.
Yeah.
And again, I figured, damn, is this really going to work out? Not really sure.
Yeah.
And then the summer of 2021 came around and I crushed it, for lack of a better term. Again, that's not me being humble.
Just playing a lot,
It went really, really well. And so then I was like, okay, I think I can make this work. And then winter of 2021 was able to keep doing it.
Yep.
So I prayed the entire way through it that it would work out and I wouldn't have to go back to a day job, and it worked out. So
I always say it, man. When you see, I have the luxury of meeting so many great artists like you that come through here. But for me, it's so much fun. Like I just will never take it for granted again. Like going to see live music, just
absolutely.
I guess it's kind of more my thing now. I'm just mentioned Elton John. I don't care as much about. I love Elton John, but I just don't care as much about going to see like a Gillette Stadium show as much as I do.
Yeah.
Going to sit in a place in a smaller venue and just hearing an artist like really kind of make their bones, as they say, and do it well, like you and so many others are doing. It's just I don't know. But I will never take it for granted again coming out of the pandemic.
Yeah.
I think. Agreed. And I didn't beforehand, but I definitely don't anymore. So it's fun. Do you feel like there's more? I mean, you kind of got into it right around this time, but I do feel like, I don't know, maybe I just don't remember it enough. Maybe I know more of you people now, but it's like, it feels like every night, every place like has it. Every like bar area has 3 different live musicians playing. It feels different to me. I don't know if that's a post-pandemic thing or, I don't know. Maybe I just know more people that are playing. I can't quite figure it out, but it feels like to me there's live music out a lot more, and I think that's a good thing.
I think there is more live music out. I think I think it was a byproduct of the pandemic, sort of a silver lining, if you will.
Yeah.
I think there is a lot more live music happening.
I practically don't go out to eat unless there's live music.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, my fiance and I are the same way. We love going again, just because I am who I am, and she's a big live music lover too. So
there's nothing better.
There really isn't, and especially if you find someone who's really, really good and somebody who's willing to do their own music too. Yeah. Again, I'm a huge lover of that. So anytime someone's like, "Hey, is it okay if I play a song I wrote?" We're like, absolutely. Yeah. Please do.
That's the one thing I wish. Like, especially places, because I know some places, like, I'm sure you've had this happen where maybe you do an original and you kind of get that look from a manager, like, easy now. They prefer the Tom Petty.
Yes.
That stuff does happen.
Yeah,
I'm sure you've experienced some of that. Like, but I do wish, like, some of those places and crowds, I guess. I wish some of those crowds are more receptive to. I think that I've had mostly good. I've seen good stuff with that this summer, but there are times when you're just like, oh, come on, don't talk. Like, why are you talking loud, guy? Clearly bearing his soul on this song, and there you are, loud. That's, as the people know on this show, that drives me crazy.
Yeah.
But, you know, we won't end on a negative note. Good job getting the fiance drop in before the show ends.
Oh, thanks, man.
That's smart. You got to say those things before the show ends.
Totally.
One more time, give your Instagram handle because I want to make sure we get that out there before you.
At Eric Marcs Music on Instagram and ericmarcsmusic.com. That's a really big
Those
one.
are the big ones.
Yeah.
And August gets busy for you. July's been busy. August stays busy, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean, I'm busy all the way through October, but coming up Thursday, August 4th, we've got Loretta's Last Call. Friday the 5th, we're at Nash Bar.
So you're at Boston for
Both of those are in Boston. So
there you do
if
the
you're in
Boston
Boston, yeah, exactly.
Well, that's exciting, man. I'm happy for you. You're playing so much. I'm happy it's all going well. Get on his website. Get on the Instagram. Try to see him here through August. You got one more to play us out with?
Yeah.
And before you do that, I'm going to give one more thanks to Cal Eaton. Over here is producing the show, doing a great job as always all summer. He's kind of. I'm still calling you the new guy, Cal. You stay the new guy until somebody else new comes in, if that's okay. Sarah Blackstone in the house directing, and Sarah Hayden, of course, the boss of the place. And yeah, I guess we're kind of the small but mighty crew that keeps the show going and does all the hard work. We appreciate you very much. Happy August, everybody. I can't believe we're here already. Let's try to slow down the summer a little bit. Can we all agree on that?
Agreed.
Let's slow it down. I'm not ready. I'm not ready. I love fall too, but I know what is right behind it.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody wants that. All right. Eric Marcs, bring us home. Thank you, man. It's been a pleasure. I hope you've enjoyed it.
Thank you very much. And thanks to Cal and Sarah, too.
See, you already know. They do the hard work. See,
Exactly.
You've already figured it out. All right. Eric Marcs bringing us home. Thank you, everybody. We will see you next time live at Drew's house, Joppa Afternoon Drive.
You could get to know me, but you don't have the time, and you don't want to show me. I can see it in your eyes. You got your eyes down on the ground, and whoa, you better walk on. Ooh, yeah. You know what you were for me? You were trouble from the start, chasing fame and then you told me what you loved and then forgot. Oh, you were there and last call, you'd be my last call. I gotta walk on now, come on. Oh, you were there and last call, you'd be my last call. I gotta walk on. Yeah. Ah, yeah. And I've been walking long before you, I'll be walking when you're gone. Been on my way with or without you since the day that I was born. Oh, I've been crushed and I've been worn till I got nothing more, and then I walk on, yeah. Oh, I've been crushed and I've been worn till I got nothing more, and then I walk on. Ooh, yeah. You could get to know me, but you don't have the time, and you don't want to show me. I can see it in your eyes.